there is two pieces of entertainment that almost seem impossible to separate, that would be video games and music. There will always be soundtracks for video games no matter what game it is, because music is such a viable tool that having a game without one would basically be empty. And with the concept of video game music comes a whole slew of covers and other representations of that music, with piano covers being one of the most common. And although there are a ton of video game cover musicians out there to talk about, there's only one in particular I want to discuss in this video. This is Tom Brier, an American pianist and composer who got his rise to fame on YouTube performing covers of video game music. Some of you might already know him for his covers of Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda, etc. This dude was extraordinarily talented and even helped pave the way for young performers to learn how to sight read sheet music. So yeah, Tom is a very talented person and was pretty popular here on YouTube, but I bet that you, yes, you, the one currently watching this video, have probably never heard of this person before or haven't heard of him for a long time until just now. In fact, I had only found out about him thanks to a meme somebody made, where it was footage of Tom playing the piano and then the captions on the bottom saying, "Those that don't know, and those that know." Those that know? What happened to him? How come I haven't heard of him before? Well, that's all going to be answered in this video. In fact, I bet you're wondering why this video actually looks very familiar to you. Well, that's because this video is in a similar essay style to my Wesley Willis video that I did a few years ago. And you all just absolutely loved that video, and I'm so grateful that you guys enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun making that video. In fact, it's now my 50th video to ever reach the 100,000 view mark. So thank you guys so much for that. That's seriously one hell of a milestone, and I'm so grateful that you all are still here watching these videos, and for me to do whatever I can in order to keep them up. I'm seriously very grateful for that. Thank you for that. And so with all that said, I wanted to bring another essay to you guys to the table regarding another musician, and I figured this one would be very fitting because it's video game music, and I'm really happy to talk about both of those topics. So with all of that said, this is Tom Brier, YouTube's forgotten gaming pianist.
We'll see.
Tom Brier was born on October 3rd, 1971 in Oakdale, California. Being raised in the farming community of Central Valley, he was already being given his first exposure to music when, at the age of 4, his parents bought a player piano, which is one of those self-playing pianos that could play anything using a sheet you insert at the top. The one they had came with sheets of ragtime music, which started his love for ragtime. Sometime after, he started to pick at the keys and played around with the player piano sheets, and at the age of 5, his parents had found him a music teacher thanks to that. Sooner or later, he was learning how to compose his own pieces, and by the age of 11, he had written over 20 rag pieces. One of those would be the Pinecone Rag, which he had written sometime in 1982. That song, alongside many other ragtime classics, would be performed by him at the Sacramento Ragtime Society when he was just 14. Then later, in 1989, performing at the West Coast Ragtime Festival, in which he would be a main headliner since then. As you could tell, this man just lived and breathed ragtime and piano, and although his origins isn't as insane as other musicians, it's still worth knowing how the beginnings of an artist started, especially at that young of an age. But although it looks like this is where Tom would be at his peak, I mean, performing at such an insane festival, that's seriously a tipping point. But although it looks like that would be where his peak is at, his story is only going to go higher and higher from here. While continuing his passion for ragtime, he would earn a bachelor's degree in computer science at the California State University sometime in 1993. A year later, at the age of 22, he would begin writing and releasing studio albums and would continue all the way up to 2012. As of now, he has 7 studio albums under his belt: Rising Star in 94, Generic in 97, Pianist in 2000, Skeletons in 2003, Rewind in 2006, Blue Sahara in 2009, and finally Constellations in 2012. As of right now, only Rising Star, Rewind, Blue Sahara, and Constellations are available on streaming. Okay, I jumped a little bit too further in time to explain that. Let's dial it back a bit. So, how would Tom get his start into YouTube and doing ragtime video game covers? Well, although Tom himself didn't do stuff through YouTube, it was actually another ragtime composer and a motorsport journalist named Ron Odell who ran a YouTube channel named Keepers First, who started his YouTube channel just a year after YouTube even opened up on May 31st, 2006. Yeah, he's an early ambassador.
Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts.
So him and Tom had connections with each other, leading to performances by Tom being uploaded to YouTube by Ron, the first of which being BL Street Mama, uploaded on May 9th, 2007, just almost a year after he created his channel. And finally, on November 20th, 2007, we'd finally get to see the first ever video game ragtime cover performed by Tom. That being a cover of, fittingly enough, KK Ragtime from the Animal Crossing soundtrack. As of right now, that video just sits at over 300,000 views. And this video right here shows Tom's style of playing that, although was popular for as long as it's been around, was one that he would help popularize for newer piano players. That being a technique called sight reading, basically meaning that you learn so much about sheet music that you could just wing it without any further knowledge of the score or the piece. Basically like reading a book for the public with knowledge of how sentences and cadences work. Kind of like reading a script. But anyway, Tom basically got the ball rolling for aspiring piano players to learn sight reading, leading to his popularity to skyrocket. And for the next few years, he and Rob would continue to upload these performances and would grow their popularity here on YouTube. As of right now, his most popular performance is of that of the Super Mario World ending music, garnering almost 6 million views. Long story short, Tom and Rob had gold on their hands, and they helped bring a massive influence for many who wanted to get into sight reading and piano playing as a whole, especially those who were fans of video game music to begin with. And I honestly don't think there's ever gonna be another one like it anytime soon. Seriously, that is one heck of an achievement that might not be breakable anytime soon. Alright, so I'm just going to give a fair warning to some of you. This video is actually going to involve topics regarding car crashes and hospitalization. So if any of you have any flashbacks or upsetting situations regarding that, I would highly recommend clicking off of this part or the video as a whole. Yes, it's time that we should probably bring up a certain situation that happened. Sometime on August 6th of 2016, Tom was driving in his Ford Focus. Everything was seemingly perfectly fine, and at first it seemed like another day for him. That was until sometime later when all of a sudden his vehicle was severely rear-ended by a Chevy Silverado that was going way over the speed limit. When the news broke out on social media, almost everybody had presumed that he had died. His injuries were so severe that his chance of survival were minimal. For the next 2.5 months, he would be in a coma, with fans around the world sending their condolences and wishing him to recover and hoping he would survive. And fortunately, and miraculously, he did. He was able to wake up from his coma sometime after and seemed to be doing okay. But tragically, his accident had led to him being paralyzed from the neck down, meaning that his piano playing had sadly come to an end. From there, Rob would post updates regarding his health, and fans would wish for him to get better. He'd stay at a nursing home for the next 4 years, then being moved into a neurological rehabilitation center, tragically mistimed, in 2020, where he'd have 6-hour therapy sessions a day in order to improve his mobility and his speech. And as of right now, that's where the story is. There's not been an update since, but from what we could tell, his health is slowly but surely getting there. I honestly feel kind of bad for Tom. Like, think about it. Imagine your career going really far for almost 30 years, only for it to be taken away from you without your control. It is so unfair and so unfortunate. So, when this video ends, I want all of you to do me a favor and just rewatch his videos and listen to his albums. Just do anything you can in order to support Tom and his family. In a situation like this, his name and his legacy should still be remembered. I'm glad that that meme post introduced me to him. I absolutely adore his covers, and I'm probably going to be listening to his music sometime soon on the streaming services that I mentioned earlier. I'm wishing for him to make a great recovery, and hopefully, thanks to new advances in technology, for him to be able to regain mobility and to get back into playing whenever possible. To Tom and his family, if you are watching this, I want you to know that none of us have forgotten you. Although the name says YouTube's Forgotten Gaming Pianist, there's still plenty of people that still remember you for who you are, and there's probably going to be more people remembering you after this video. Your life and your legacy will still be remembered by thousands of people, and that the piano players of today have to thank you for getting them into playing and to learn how to do sight reading. You shall not be forgotten for as long as the earth is still spinning. Or, in this case, as long as the record is still spinning.
Officially Brierized.
Officially Brierized.
Fully Brierized.
Hi everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did editing it. I seriously had a fun time reading through Tom's backstory and all of his covers and stuff. I had a lot of music to listen to when I was making this, and I had so much fun doing it, and I hope to do it again sometime soon. I'm going to put all the links and sources at the bottom of this video, as well as all of his albums that I could find on streaming, especially Apple Music, because I use that one a lot. So with all of that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so that way you'll be notified whenever I upload a video. And if you want to support me even further, then you could go check out my merch store, which will be in the description below. That's danieltgmerch.com. I've been working on that store for a while now. I've got a lot of stuff up there, and I'm seriously really happy with how the website turned out. Seriously, if you don't want to buy anything, just please look at the site. I'm so proud of how it turned out. And if you have any suggestions on what I should talk about next, then be sure to submit them via Twitter, Discord, and in the comment section below. So, with all of that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.